Should we start this one?
Oh, well, look in here. Let me
Yeah.
go back here. Camera.
Camera.
Video. Live focus.
Then you can press mine.
Yeah. Oh, I needed to go on video. There we go. Oh, there we go. Press mine and start.
Yeah. All right. All right.
All right, now let me see. I think I need a little lipstick. I don't know. I need some.
You can't leave.
I know I can't leave. We can't leave now.
No,
But I'm probably gonna have Rodell pass me a lipstick at the break. Hey, everybody, welcome.
I'm Heidi.
This is Heidi.
This is Heidi. This is Heidi.
And I'm Heather.
Right.
That's right. Two girls from the little Shire Park Hill.
Yep. Yep. Two girls. Still two girls.
Still two girls.
Yeah.
Although, hey, we have raised our children and now we're grandmothers. Yeah. Grammy to the third power. That's right. Grammy to the third power.
Yeah.
So we are grateful to be here today, in this corona.
Want me to squeeze in?
You can be let me squeeze in like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We're grateful to be here in the corona. I mean, it's just grateful that we are here today. Right. We want to give a big shout out to Rodell Reddix. That's right. With say it for us, Rodell.
RDMD2 Radio.
RDMD2 Radio. .airtime.pro. Yep. That's right. And then you can be watching us there. But we're gonna have a watch party. So you'll be able to see us on the watch party as well. We want you to join us on our watch party, on our Facebook watch party. We're going to be having a little party. And this is also just really a precast of the broadcast thing that we're going to be doing for you and for our whole entire family, all of our friends and relatives all over the world. It's an international thing. It's a world thing. It's about what's going on in our world today.
It is about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Heidi, you have a company that really, besides you being the African cowgirl, which I adore that just so much. I just adore that, the African cowgirl. What's the other company that really expresses what's going on with you?
So when I was in Africa, one of the things I really wanted was to be able to bring a product that they have so many good products in Africa that are, just health products, things that are natural, non-invasive, been around for 1,000 years. So this product is called Jobeline.
Jobeline, I love Jobeline. Yeah. I've been using it. Calvin Golden has been using it. We definitely have a couple of testimonies for that. This is my 3rd week. And as you can tell, look, my skin is glowy. I even haven't had a chance to put on any makeup. I did have a really good facial, though, right before you guys came. Wow. Alpha hydroxy, I'll give you guys that recipe. Wow. Super simple. But we're definitely, in the Jobeline. It's done a lot for my energy level. In the morning, I'm up and going, so that's a big thing right there. I mean, I was just shocked how much energy I just kind of naturally was feeling good. Right. I think that's just it, that I was just feeling good.
Right.
Just feeling good.
Right.
And then so that, I love that. I love that product. Right. Red Sheath Sorghum. We're going to be talking about these kind of things that people don't always give us. Right. Definitely living in America, I didn't know how limited we were to resources until this pandemic has happened.
Right.
You look great.
Oh, thank
you. You do. You look so good. You look really good. You've been using it.
I have. Uh-huh. I have. Yeah, and one of the things I'm really excited about doing is combining it with CBD.
Oh, that's exciting.
And mushroom powder.
That is so exciting.
I know. I'm really excited about that.
Because remember, that's what we talked about last week and the week before. We were saying, hey, we don't understand why. In fact, we're going to break for just 2 seconds to make sure that our Facebook is working for us right now. Heidi, do you see if our Facebook is working for us right now?
Sure.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's my technical difficulty music. Ding, 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 ding. And then wrote down, we definitely want you to put some more music in there on the edit. Ding, 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 ding. And everybody goes, Heather, what
Kim
are you singing? And then I'm like, I'm singing my technical difficulty song. Rodell knows whenever I go ding, 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 that we're having a technical difficulty. And then he comes in to let us know what's going on that. You know what I'm saying? That is what I'm saying. Rodell, don't be falling out laughing. Yeah, don't be falling out laughing.
No.
That's right. Oh, okay. We are back. Now, you are connected to the Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi is good. You got your Wi-Fi going on?
It might be, but I'm not connected to your Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Uh-huh. So, no, there we are. There we are. We're back. Okay, we're back. Okay, did you guys like my ding, 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 ding? Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, Heather, I want to. So, I am really excited about what Heather's doing because it's a chance to talk to people online. And I think so many of us, like me, that I'm kind of shy and I don't want to be seen.
How could you be shy if you're called the African cowgirl?
I know. Well, it's my stage name.
Oh, that is your. Oh, okay. So we have to channel. Okay, we're gonna channel.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna channel this.
We're gonna channel this. Yeah, we're gonna channel because you look fabulous. Now, what's going on here with the outfit?
Well, this is my.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this is my.
This material.
It's got African fabric. It's a mixture of African fabric and American fabric. So
wow.
But also it's also recycled. So this was also repurposed, probably drapery. So I think that's really fun.
Drapery? Get out of here! That's your grandma's drapery.
Yeah.
Repurpose is our way. We believe in sustainability.
Right.
So much going on that. Okay, and then
and then I love these braids. The women who were my color they wore these kind of braids, and they wore because that's what we did with our hair. We braided it.
Right.
So I just felt like I needed to have long hair.
Long hair.
Because that's one of the things I learned in Africa was how to add these extensions in. So I like mine removable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you can change when you want to. Right. Well, I love that. Where did you get this design? You did this yourself?
I just made it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And now you got this influence from Gaoul, Senegal.
From Senegal.
Remember, you guys, back in 2016, our girl Heidi went to Gaoul, Senegal and helped them to get a micro incubator going on, as well as the school and internet, and help them to learn to broadcast. We did About Town Media broadcast station. That's right. Remember we adopted you guys, and so we are like, we were like sister cities, and we did the Christmas and everything. Everybody was like, I mean, I remember that because they were like, when we were at Potter's house, and I showed it. And you remember you had broadcasted when they were doing a ceremony, at Christmas time. Right. They were coming out of the cave. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was the nativity or what? No. It was at Christmas time.
It was pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy, and everybody was like, what is going on?
I know.
But it just shows that they did that for us for love. They let us see that ceremony, with love, for our fellow brothers and sisters. And I think that was such a communal thing. I felt like they were, or they do feel like we're our brothers and sisters together, huh? Because we did have a relationship after that.
Seriously adopted you.
Yeah, we really had a relationship after that. We had their paintings over at the ACAD, the Aurora, what was that, Community Arts District? That's right, ACAD. We had a huge, remember we had that beautiful, Let Your Voice Be Heard, 303. We had all the paintings up. Right. And who was our painter? Alun. Badi. Is that Badu? Yes. Mm-hmm. He is beautiful. Chad has a piece. Chad Elliott, shout out Chad Elliott. He has a piece of his art on his wall.
I know.
And I love that blue period, or that blue, where you know, all that everything was in blue, you know,
I
that
know.
woman, I just love that,
I
man.
know. I still have that painting.
Do you still have that painting?
Yes.
Oh my God. I might have to get it here somehow. Because that woman expressed who I was at that time. I was in that blue period.
Yeah, we are kind of.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, see, we're sisters. We can't help it.
Yeah.
Can't help it. So this is Heidi. We decided that we wanted to just interview. She was going to interview me, since last time I interviewed her, and now she's going to interview me.
Right.
And that's the first, because I never get interviewed. I always interview everybody, but I never get interviewed. So this is a good thing.
I'm excited about that.
Okay, good. Hey, so you want to make sure that we are connected? Let's make sure that you are connected to Calvin. We'll take one quick break. I'm gonna go to D. Okay. Ding 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 ding.
I'm gonna share that.
And then look on your Wi-Fi, Heidi, and make sure that you've got that it's connected to Calvin.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. Okay. And then now we can take this moment to talk about one of our good sponsors, R2D. Let's say it again.
RDMD2.
RDMD2. I can say it when you say it, but when I think about it, my mind gets dyslexic. What the fuck about that for Calvin? 1961. Nobody better come over here and do that. No, because they'll never know that password. They're like, what? That's so simple. It couldn't possibly just announce it to millions of people on air. They're going to come on over so they can borrow our Wi-Fi. No.
Good. I didn't connect to you.
I got you going on over there, Rodale. Okay, but hey, what can I tell you? That's just how that works. But you got some great products going on too, and that is our sponsor today. We're going to talk about that later, but we're going to give you an opportunity to later on in the show, after my wonderful interview with Heidi, we're going to talk about some of the small businesses that are out there today, small businesses that we recommend that you have, because the tax time is in the city. Are we ready to go?
I think so.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. That's right.
Yes.
I think we got, that's perfect. That's even more perfect than before.
Is that more perfect than before?
Yeah, that is.
Right.
Okay, see, because now she's got an internet connection. It's amazing how we've become so digital. There's some good things that came out of the COVID.
Yeah. I think this is really an exciting thing.
This
come
is
out of the COVID.
Now, people are probably wondering, where are we at? Because we've never had such luxurious backgrounds before. We always like in somebody's closet or something, or we were in the ACAT, we were in the dungeon. No, shout out to the ACAT. They were great for us for the longest,
But we were in the dungeon.
we were. And then we were over at Dayton Opportunity Center. That was pretty good. We had our studio going at Dayton, and then we did that. So that was really good. But yeah, so we are live. So hey, all of our Facebook people, we love you. We love you. This is your girl, Heidi P.
I am.
And your girl, Heather P.
And I'm going to interview her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Okay.
Heather.
We channeled.
Did you grow up in Denver?
I did, born and raised.
You were born and raised?
Born and raised.
What hospital?
I was at Presbyterian, which is now Presbyterian St. Luke's, but I was born in Presbyterian Hospital. That was one of the hospitals that Black people felt comfortable being at. I was born in the big 1961. I'm going to be the big 60 this year. Big 60 this year. And, at that time in Colorado, it wasn't so much that we were segregated, but we were segregated. It's like Black people knew where they lived. I mean, the Black people, at that time we were in Park Hill because we were the first Black family that openly said that they were Black, that crossed Colorado Boulevard. So there are many influential and wealthy blacks in the community,
Right.
but we were I don't know what the word is, but we were stymied in an area. What was it? Red line? We were redlined
Red line.
in a specific area. You had to be, Swansea, Globeville. Everybody goes, oh my God, that's the projects. But no, it wasn't our projects. That's
Right.
where we were, Swansea, Globeville. And then 5 Points. 5 Points was the big area. City Park West.
So
And City
north.
Park East, Northeast.
Always northeast.
That's right, Northeast.
Right.
And they did not want us to dare go south of Colfax, which I don't even think we got south of 26th Avenue for the longest.
Wow.
So we didn't even go south of 26th Avenue, and definitely we didn't go east of York. And then someone got brave and we got into City Park. And, right there on the avenue, 26th Avenue, the golf course, 23rd, we all got into that area. I'm sure somebody knows somebody on Gaylord Street. I'm sure somebody, Miss Jones, Miss Jenkins, Miss Williams, they're all lived on those areas. And then, of course, Loyola Catholic Church. And then, of course, Loyola was the first Catholic church to really accept a lot of black children. And then we had St. Joseph's High School. That was all that area was in that same area.
Yeah.
So nobody still could not get across. Wow. And we only got across because they didn't know we were black. They did not know that my mom and dad were black.
Well, I love her family.
Yes.
I only really got to meet your mother just a few
yes.
And I never met her.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you did. He was a character.
Yeah. So I think, let me just tell you why I'm asking some of this. Because for me, Denver has always been really kind of at the forefront of integration.
Yeah.
Even though it hasn't been easy. And it hasn't been
easy.
But we are one of the more comfortably integrated cities, metropolitan areas, I would say.
Do you think that is because we are also one of the largest per capita of high school and college graduates?
I bet you all of that plays a really big factor in this. Yeah. So I want to talk also about your family represented what I feel are the families that were kind of founding families.
Yeah, founding families.
So talk a little bit about your dad, what he did.
Okay, well, everybody knows him. Both my mom and dad, have gone to heaven. And but we were the Gardners and we were the Shockleys, and that was a big deal. So the Gardners, the Shockleys, the Woolforks, that was us. We were all in it together. And then and the Sydneys, we came from the Sydneys. The Sydneys, my great uncle, not great uncle, grand uncle, he just seemed very old when I was even born. no, but that's because he was here in the late 1800s. And like I said, we came to Colorado in 1897. Out of Minnesota. We were journeyman meat cutters, and we followed the roundup.
Follow the cattle.
We follow the cattle. Lonesome Dove, the cattle run. That was us, and we were the meat cutters, because you have to have somebody with tools and someone who had the art of butchering. And of course, our German background, that's what we did. We were the butchers of the town. And you needed that because, you have a cow, but if you don't have any knives to cut up that cow, you might starve that winter.
Right.
You might
or know how to do it.
or know how to do it. You get to bleed it and dress it, the whole 9 yards. If you didn't know how to do those things, you probably would starve that winter.
Wow.
So they were very important for their trade. And then I think the fact that we were so biracial from the beginning, I think that was part of the reason why we were successful, because there was a joke on there the other day from on CNN where he goes, Don Lemon goes, "I'm openly black." I go, what?
Openly.
Openly black, and that's a new
Right.
joke coming out. But we were just who we were, and I
Yeah.
think, we were so biracial with Native American and white, and black. I don't think anybody really knew what we were.
Right. And I just want to talk a little bit more
Yeah.
about the idea of being biracial, and maybe you could enlighten some people on here as why is it easier for someone who is biracial, and why would you have even said, I think we were accepted more because we were biracial?
Well, that is the truth. Colorism,
Colorism.
colorism all day long and always forever. Poor Kamala Harris. That's her challenge right now. Everyone is challenging her outright. They're like, "Well, is she even black?" Well, obviously she's black, but is it so obvious? I don't know.
Is she dark enough, right?
Yeah, is she dark enough
Right. To be black,
to be
right?
black?
Right.
Her
Right.
hair is long and straight. Well, she's half Asian.
Right.
So that would be the mix, that would be the mix.
Right.
So I think that was one of those things. Colorism is big. My parents were some of the first college graduates at University of Minnesota in the 40s. And when I look at my mom's graduation picture, which is so beautiful because they are all the women, it's different now.
Right.
All the women were in ball gowns, white ball gowns, talking about chastity. I always laugh at that one too. I go, "Oh,
That's
wow, those are
imaginary.
college women."
Imaginary.
That was imaginary. College women coming out of
Right.
World War II. I doubt it, but there was a lot of that going on. And then the men, were in their tuxedos. It was very, very prestigious to graduate.
Right.
But then what was so strange was that my mom and my aunts were like, "Okay, there's your mom, and then there's your auntie right there." And they're the only black, they're the only Negroes,
Wow.
they're the
So
only
they got
Negroes.
pointed out in the picture.
They're the only.
Right.
Well, no, we had to show because a lot of people didn't know. They were like, "Well, where's your mom? Where's?" I said, "Oh, there. God, she blends
Wow.
right in." And then we were like, then there was one girl who was dark, Miss Eunice. That's right. She's still around today. I love her. And she was, the darkest of the group. And she said that was always her challenge. And that was also gave her a lot of agony and woe getting through University of Minnesota because she was the darkest person in the graduation picture. She was the
Right.
darkest one in
Right.
school.
How did it feel growing up in this area of Park Hill where, I mean, you knew that there was a red line there. Everybody, you just knew it.
I don't think that my parents really enchanted us. I felt we were like in the enchanted cottage. We didn't understand what was going on in other areas, and we didn't understand what that meant when people were like, "Well, you're the only one that really says that you're Negro," and the rest were passing. Saying that they were Lebanese or Hawaiian. But I know, and the families know who I'm talking about too. But we did, yeah. I mean, then they got to come out later. When they were like James Brown, "I'm black and I'm proud."
Well, yeah, the Black Pride.
When Black Pride came out, and they were like, "Oh, we are black, by the way." And we're like, "We already knew that, honey." We just let you have your sing song, because that's what made you feel more comfortable. When they were passing for white, there was a lot of us in Colorado that passed for white.
Wow.
Like you looked at the cousins, they were instrumental in 5 Points, and you look at, there's so many families that were so biracial, you wouldn't know that they were black unless they told you that they were black. And of course, they said they were black because it was better to just admit that you were black than be outed.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like you had to sort of pull out your card to say you're black to even.
I did. That's a big joke that we have around here. I'm gonna get your black card. I'm gonna pull your black card.
Is that right?
And that's been around for a long time. But they say, oh, you have to pull your black card. We went to QR's. Okay, so we moved across Colorado Boulevard to Martin Luther King, which is now Martin Luther King, but back then it was 32nd and Glencoe. And my parents moved over there, and they're very cool, because for like one whole year, they were putting everything together. And for one whole year, the neighborhood thought that they were the servants, maybe. And they were like, when are the owners going to come home? When are the owners going to move in? And then he goes, oh, by the way, we are the owners. But by then, everything was in the bank and the mortgages and everything. It was all done,
Right.
So there was no way to do it. But if you look in the Denver Post in the archives, you will see, I think it's 1959, in the background, or was it 1958? I think it was 1958, after Mark was born. That's right. He was born in 57. And then in the background, you will see us. They go, wonderful colored family has moved into the neighborhood. And we were in the Denver Post, and there was my mom and dad, and then my sisters, my two sisters, Bernie and Gretchen, and then baby Mark. And mother was pregnant with Leon,
And you weren't there yet.
I wasn't there yet. I came in 61. Yeah. So, I came with a dust had cleared a little bit. And then if you look closely in that picture, you look in the background, and people had up signs that said, we're not moving. We're not moving. Because, they had found out that there was blacks on their block, and they put up signs, we're not moving. So that was like a thing. And then you'll see some more articles that my mom and dad kept putting out there in the Denver Post. And one was, they were angry at my dad because he said, hey, not everybody come over at once. Since we broke the color line, now you can come in. And everybody was beginning to come in. And he was like, hey, you guys don't come in all at once. We don't want to ghettoize this area and create great white flight, because everybody's going to pick up and move. And then suddenly our property values will not be the same. But the Lord is good. And I'll tell you why. Because people, in spite of it all, did not do the great white flight for about 20 years. And then in the 70s, they did, because of busing. Right. And everybody moved south and, you saw that whole area, Hoffman Heights and south and east. Cherry Creek. A lot moved to Cherry Creek. Right. They were moving south. Littleton. They all went out to Littleton and Inglewood. Remember, that was new. Right. So those were new homes, but I think they were trying to make that move, because then we were coming over in blacks. I should say families were coming over in groves, because GM had their parts division. GM and Ford had their parts division off of 38th and off of 40th. And so that was big. That brought all of the black families out of Kansas City and Missouri. They were coming to work at this plant.
And also, I think the military.
And the military, Lowry Air Force Base, and Buckley. Fitzsimmons, that's the Army base. So we had three all right there put together. And then Stapleton Airport grew, and then there's the great new middle class right there, the great new. But did you notice how many schools we had per capita in the area? We were inundated with schools. There was a school almost on every block, and I think that was a big deal of why it became such a, what I always call the Shire. Right. There was a lot of education going on. I think they had done a study where it's like the majority of residents, of Black Negro residents, were college educated.
A lot. So many. I mean, there was no question. That was absolutely very clear. It was not a neighborhood that was run down or anything. It was a neighborhood that was,
up and moving.
We respected everybody. Yeah.
Up and moving.
And they were neighbors. And
that's right.
Right. So I know, Heather, one of the things I want to talk to you about, kind of fast forwarding a little bit to when you were in high school.
Okay.
Because I think what you got to experience isn't even something a lot of white kids got to experience. But I know you've used this to, I mean, in my opinion, you took whatever you learned in this educational process that you had, and I'm not going to say what it is, and you translated that to being able to help people in less fortunate situations. Thank you. So,
well, like I said, we all went to Cured Yard. Like I said, we lived on the corner of Glencoe and Martin Luther King, aka 32nd, and that is the same boulevard that Bobby Kennedy, actually JFK, Bobby Kennedy, and then Martin Luther King did their big parade down that street from the airport, Stapleton. That was a big deal. Down down Martin Luther King to downtown. And that's how you got downtown, was on that. And so on that street right there at Dahlia and 32nd and Martin Luther King is Cured Yards, and that was the first Black Catholic church in the city or in the state. Wow. That still is to this day. Cured Yards or Cure Yards, Cure Down. That's it.
That's what it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
Catholic church. And everyone that wasn't even Catholic sent their kids to Catholic school for parochial learning. Right. So that was like the private school for them, for middle class people. And we were definitely the minority of the school. Our family was so big. That was the joke. Oh, the Shockley family is our minority, because we have so many. Right. But anyway, so I think the education was great. And so Cured Yards was a very solid foundation. I really found out who I was, who we were, and then came integration when I was in the 5th grade. And that was a big deal. Actually, the 6th grade being integrated. Remember? Because we went, because you went to Smith. You went to Smiley.
So in elementary school, I went to Hallett.
Oh, you went to Hallett. Yeah, my little sister and Anna went to Hallett.
Yeah.
I loved Hallett. And then where did you go to middle school?
And then I went to Smiley.
And then you went to Smiley.
Right. Right.
And then I would have gone to Smiley, but we were busing, so I went to Hill.
Yeah.
But we were a part of an integration project, where our parents were actually paid money to take us out, take the Black children out of private school and go into the public school during integration, so that they could see if it was like nature versus nurture or whatever. Now, it didn't work out very well for my brother and sister, my oldest brother and sisters, because I think they should have stayed in private school. But for me and my brother and my little sister, it really worked very well for us. It was wonderful for me because I got to experience, everyone in my community in public school. The Jewish families. It wasn't just Germans and Italians and Spanish, because that's all that was in the Catholic group. Big German families. The Hoffmans, the Stallies, it was German families. So we understood that. But then when we got into the public school for that moment, then I was able to experience everybody else in my community in a very real way. And I did see the disparity. I did see the difference, in the classes.
It was big.
It was big.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and then we went to, Dow.
Could you just talk a little bit more about that? Because some people don't really understand when we talk about disparity in school.
Well, like say, for example, we went to Dow Elementary, which was in Brentwood, and Bear Valley, that area at Lincoln High School off of Federal. And it was pure white, but they were also a part of Gates Rubber Company and real factory workers, but pure white. And we went to school there in that area, and we were kind of shocked because we had more going on in Park Hill than they did out there. But yet we were meant to believe that we were going to be going to school better off because we were going to school with whites.
Wow.
So that was, as I said, it didn't work out really good for my oldest brothers and sisters, but it was okay for us. So that was a dynamic right there. That they were definitely middle class and lower middle class workers, factory workers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that, but there was a big disparity because, like, all the people in my area, like on my block, on my 2 blocks, everyone had a college degree.
Right.
Everyone, the GI Bill, whatever, everyone had it. And they were all professionals,
Right.
nurses, doctors, lawyers, accountants,
right.
real estate,
Right.
real estate moguls. They were all professionals.
Right.
In Park Hill.
Right. So there wasn't anything wrong with growing up.
There was nothing wrong growing up there.
Yeah.
But we were pushed,
right.
Out south to where they thought it was better education because they were all white.
Right.
But the area that we moved into was lower class. And I'm no affront to anybody. I'm just saying that's how it was designated.
Wow.
That, they all work at the factory,
So if we were to kind of talk about, I mean, I don't like to be too conspiratorial, but a lot of people have expressed opinions that the integration did not work. I mean, I was growing up, and I'll just tell you my story. It's just a little tiny story, but I went to an all-black school.
Yes.
Maybe a couple Hispanic kids. It was Howlett, and it was not in a wealthy neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It was in that neighborhood that was North Park Hill. And even at that time, I mean, the houses were middle class. Yeah. And mostly military.
All military, brick.
Right.
Brick houses. Brick houses.
And, my parents just believed in living in an integrated neighborhood. They believed fundamentally in integration.
Yes.
They didn't believe everybody had to do it, but they believed themselves that they wanted their kids to grow with a diverse group of kids. And also my dad was working with a lot of people at that time who were professionals, just like you were talking about.
Yeah.
A real estate agent named Troy Jackson.
Yeah.
Another real estate
McKinley
agent.
Harris.
Sadie Ashby.
Exactly.
Rachel Knoll.
Knoll.
These are people who founded the city. They're people who, they're part of the Wellington Webb family. They're part of they're part of this legacy of incredible people. Even, Cleo Parker Robinson. Her family fits into that. So, my father felt more comfortable with this group of people. He went to the University of Chicago. They lived in that part of Chicago. So
probably knew a lot of. I knew a ton of blacks that graduated from the University of Chicago. You probably knew them.
He just did not differentiate. It was a quality of person, and it wasn't the color of their skin.
Right.
That was us. But I was just at a school, and I didn't know that I was even a white child at that
exactly.
point. I didn't.
Because I don't think it was a thing. We didn't talk about it.
No, I didn't.
In Park Hill. That's what was so beautiful for me. We never talked about it. We didn't say, oh, this is a little colored girl, or this is a little, Negro girl. This is a little Mexican girl, and this week there just wasn't.
But that did happen with integration.
Yes, it did. When integration happened, suddenly we knew we were colored.
Yes.
Then they go, that's when we were colored.
One day.
Now we're colored. We went to, I went to Dowell Elementary, in Bear Valley and off of Federal, and they were like, oh, you're a little black girl, you're a Negro.
Right.
And I was like, what? How do you know?
I know. And that's what happened with me. And I remember going home and thinking, I don't think my friends will let me more because I'm like the kids that are being bused in to this school. And sure enough, I guess what we think manifests. But I was suddenly a white child and not part of my friendship group.
Exactly.
And I remember thinking, something's wrong with this picture.
There was
Even
something
as a
wrong.
child, I
there
thought,
was.
Something is wrong with this.
It was wrong. Because they would ask me, how can you stand living in the ghetto?
Right.
And I thought, my house is triple what your house looks like. I mean, that was
Wasn't a ghetto?
crazy. I was like, that was not the ghetto.
We don't have
We don't have ghettos
We don't have them.
in Colorado. Not really.
No,
Not
we
really.
not really.
Not really. Not when you like look in Chicago, look
Right.
in New York,
New York
look at down south. There's no ghetto. And we were definitely not
Right.
in the ghetto. And I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God, what about that? So I was grateful when I got back to my side of town, basically at Hill. And then the experiment was over. And then my mom was like incessant, making sure that we went back into the private school.